Welcome. This is the third video in a series to get started Python programming on a Mac. I got a MacBook Air with an Apple M3 chip. Now, if you don't already have or verified Python is installed on your machine, this is the third video. The first and second ones are linked up here. The first thing you want to do is do installing Python to make sure you have Python installed and the most current version. The second video is how do I make a Python program using a general text editor? So this is the last piece of the puzzle. We're going to install VS Code so that we can run Python and build, higher grade applications and more complicated applications with a nice free integrated development environment or IDE. So I'm going to go ahead quickly and make sure I have the most current version of Python installed. I'll go ahead and open up a terminal window. Let me make this a little bigger with Command Shift Plus so you can see it. I'm going to type in Python 3 and the option for the version, and you'll see as of when I recorded this, it's the current version of Python is 3.13.1. So I'm all ready to go. And that's we walked through that in the first video. I'll go ahead and close out my terminal. And now what I want to do is I want to load VS Code. So just go to the website. You pull it over here, code.visualstudio.com. And you can see you can download it for any operating system. Here's the Mac. The Mac has two different chipsets right now, different architecture. I have an M3, Apple M3 chip, which is the Apple Silicon. The older ones are the Intel chips. This version will cover them all. So we're going to hit the download button. Allow this to install. The download is completed, so we'll put this away. We'll open up the downloaded folder. Jump to my other screen, pull it over. Okay, go ahead, hit the open command, and we'll let this install. Once the downloaded file runs, we'll just slide down here. I'm not going to select anything else. And we have the VS Code working. Once we have the main program working, we're going to go ahead and load our extensions. So we'll click Settings, Extensions, and what we want to do is add the Python extension. And I'm just going to type in Python. And the one I'm going to select is the first one here. So Python language support. It does say Microsoft on there. Go ahead and install that extension. This will make the programming in Python a lot easier. We'll collapse this window. Go ahead and hit File Explorer. This is where we can choose maybe where we're going to open up a folder to save things. But we'll go ahead and we can just make a new file. And you'll see now that we have the extensions loaded, one of the options is a Python file. So we're going to open up a Python file. Let's close out our Explorer. And this is where we'll just start typing in a Python file. A comment is a hashtag. So this is a Python program to let's just make something to calculate the factorial of a number. Kind of the same example that I did in the second video. Now we don't have any Python code yet. That's unexecutable. But let's go ahead and save this. And instead of untitled, it'll go ahead and have a name of our Python file. And remember, we want to use a Python extension. So File, and you could do the Command S, but right now I'll just say Save As. And we'll just call this second. This is our second Python. Where do I want to save it? We'll just go to our Documents folder and hit Save. Now you'll notice, right, we'll let this have access to our Documents folder. If you have a problem with access to the Documents folder, that was covered in the second video tutorial, how to change your settings. If you're having an issue, you can also just save these things in your download file. Okay, so now anytime I change it, it'll save to second.py. Now we'll go ahead and make a short program We're going to choose a number and we'll say 5. And we're going to calculate the factorial. So we'll initialize our result to the number. We'll create a loop, value in range of number -1. That's where we're going to start. We're going to go down to 1 and we're going to step backwards. Calculating the factorial. So the result equals result times the value. And then we're going to print the result. This is the same exercise we did in video 2 with the text file, but notice as I'm typing here, it's color coded and it makes it a lot easier for me to manage and visualize my Python program. And we're just going to turn out the result, print the result out. To execute the Python program, I don't have to have a terminal window. I don't have to go into the directory structure because VS Code will take care of all that for me. Since it's already saved, you'll see that there's changes since my save with this dot. So if I hit Command S or save the file, it goes away. So this is current, but the play button will also do that. Now, before I play it, I want to come down to the bottom right-hand corner. Notice that it says Python 3.13.1. I showed you that the current version installed here is this one. If you have various versions of Python installed, you can click on this and notice the default from video 1 was 3.9.6. I could run VS Code with that older version, or I could run it with the newer version. So if you have different versions of Python installed, like Anaconda or things like that, this is where you could change it to make sure your code is going to run in the correct version of Python. So I have the correct version. I'm going to hit the run button, and you'll see it open the terminal underneath for me, so I don't have to have split windows like I did in video number 2. So it calculated, and then 5 factorial is in fact 120. So my program works well. And notice it opened it. It shows you the location of it. It's in the documents folder, and we called it second.python, ran the program, and I'm back at the terminal prompt. So this is a live terminal prompt, just like as if I opened the terminal. I can delete it. I can close it out. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it, and that goes away. We'll change it to 55, same as I did in video 2. We'll get the factorial of 55 is very significant, and I have the answer. You can go ahead and close that out. From this point, you could build very robust Python programs. If you need to make a quick script, remember you can do it in the Python interpreter. If you need to make a quick script that you're going to save, you can open any text file. You don't have to have VS Code installed or any IDE. Generally, when you're working on larger projects, you go ahead and go into VS Code, save the Python program there, and generally organize that into a folder. There's a lot more capabilities in VS Code. And the key here is remember to install the Python extension so that it will allow you the autocomplete. You can it will let you to tab, and it gives you a lot of other capabilities. If you get a chance, go ahead and follow. I noticed that they're putting ads on my videos, and I'm not getting paid for that. So maybe I can get a couple more people in the subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe. And thank you.